So if you guys don't know, yesterday Skyrim got an update. Basically what this did was change the way Creation Club content is read by the game and basically made a new file for it. The result of this is, going forward, future updates or releases in Creation Club will no longer break the script extender for Skyrim, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, this update did break the script extender, but hey, it's kind of a necessary evil, I guess. Well, regardless, with this updated file, we actually got the file names for some of the different releases coming to Creation Club. This happened for both Fallout 4 and Skyrim. If you want to know the Fallout 4 releases, I do have another video I uploaded for that, but actually the Skyrim releases are far more interesting. Bethesda did mention that they're kind of delaying the Fallout 4 releases to look at the program. They're striving to do larger mods in the future, because basically that's what a lot of people wanted. I'm not really sure how it's going to impact Skyrim. I don't know if it's going to continue with the standard kind of release schedule. You should typically expect Creation Club releases once every month. At least that's what it's followed before with Fallout 4. Regardless, we actually have one really interesting mod in this list and a few other pretty interesting ones. So starting things off, the most interesting release is without a doubt going to be that pet dwarven mud crab. That's a joke, but yeah, we've seen this a ton. I'm sure you guys all know what it is at this point. It was teased in the initial trailer. A lot of people expected this to come out with the kind of initial release of Creation Club, but Bethesda didn't include it for whatever reason. So it seems like it will be coming out now with this new second batch of mods, or creations if you will. I mean, there's really not much to say for this. I hope they offer it for free just as kind of a joke, or kind of at least being semi-self-aware. If it costs anything more than 100 Creation Club points, don't touch it. It's not worth it. Don't give this company money for something like that, but maybe something that's a little bit more justified in getting money. We do have Lord's Mail. So this is something that's appeared in a number of the old Elder Scrolls games, that being Arena, Daggerfall, and Morrowind. It was mentioned in Oblivion but never actually made it into the game, and it's actually in Skyrim through a mod. So what this is supposed to be is a cuirass, only a cuirass, it's not a full set of armor, that is of unsurpassable quality. So the interesting part here is it actually had a varying degree of abilities on it, like the enchantments changed depending on which game it appeared in, but the description stayed the same. So in Arena it did say it could regenerate your lost health, and this is actually the effects it did have, resist the effects of spells, and cure oneself of poison when used. It had the same things in Daggerfall, but then in Morrowind it actually did kind of take a weird turn. It would cure poison on yourself, as well as it would actually give you now a magicka resist of 20 to 30% for 30 seconds, but there was no regeneration ability, even though it was actually in the description of the armor. There was just no effect that added that. So who knows which one they'll actually pick. I mean, I imagine they'll maybe go for one of the older ones because it's a little bit more OP and they want people to actually buy this. In addition, in Morrowind, if you actually wore this, it was part of the Imperial Legion, so you were kind of identified as part of the Imperial Legion with this armor on. It was a faction armor, and yeah, I mean, it's an interesting armor. Again, I really hope they implement it in a cool way. It's kind of simple, definitely not as expansive as something as like the Knights of the Nine armor, although even with that armor they kind of changed it a bit for Skyrim. Even though there was only meant to be one set of armor, it was turned into two separate sets. In the old Elder Scrolls games, you had to choose between one set or the other, but again, in Skyrim you could have both sets. So maybe at Lord's Mail they'll actually add in other armor pieces, or add something else that makes it a little bit more interesting than just a cuirass that you can put on your character, because again, if they want to charge a few dollars for this, that is pretty basic. And again, as I mentioned earlier, and what I've been showing you in the background is actually the mod for Skyrim for this very armor. It didn't get a ton of attention, but does feature a quest. It does feature the armor with the same enchantments that it did have in Morrowind. So will Bethesda top this? Who knows? I guess we'll see. Alright, so now for the two interesting ones. First and foremost, let's go with Hstead. So imagine this is going to mean Homestead, and I do believe this is a mod being worked on by Eleonora. Eleonora, of course, making a ton of home mods for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. It'll probably be very similar to some of her other home mods, hopefully this one having a few additional bells and whistles, maybe a quest associated with it, maybe some items associated with it, something that makes it stand out for the money. But again, it's probably going to be a home of some sort. There's only so much you can infer from this name, but I imagine a lot of people are going to be really excited to see more mod authors being featured in Creation Club, and honestly just in general, their projects have thus far been of higher quality than the ones being worked on by Bethesda Game Studios themselves. So finally, in the one everyone's talking about and the one to get excited for is the puzzle dungeon, this being by Trainwiz, or we assume it's Trainwiz, it is TW. The reason this is so interesting is it's actually a .esm file. If you guys remember back to a month or two ago, when we were first getting the batch of Creation Club releases for Fallout 4, there was a huge controversy surrounding the .esl files. The benefits of the .esl files is you could have way more of them. It doesn't hit the 255 cap nearly as fast. I think it's something like 2,000 or 3,000 ESL files are allowed, but at the same time, they were only allowed a limit of 4,000 forms, or was it 2048? I forget which one we actually settled on as a community, but regardless, the takeaway here is they have invariable benefits, but at the same time, there was a massive restriction. A lot of people are like, well, does this mean no large-scale mods or quest mods or anything like that will make it into Creation Club? Later on, Bethesda corrected us saying that if it came time to actually release a large-scale mod, they would go with one of their other available file types, and now we are seeing that for Skyrim with puzzledungeon.esm. So right off the bat, what this means is it's the largest thing we will get from Creation Club thus far. No other file has required to be in the ESM format, so as a result, this one we could only assume is going to have way more content. It does say puzzle dungeon. This is something that TrainWiz has done in the past. A lot of his mods typically are quest mods, adding in new quests, experiences, but also some armors or weapons along the way. A lot of you guys will probably remember Black Reach Railroad. That was actually one of the early released mods on Bethesda.net back when modding was only just coming to Skyrim Special Edition. They inducted like a few mod authors to produce things early for the release. Either way, again, I think this is really exciting. Bethesda has again talked about in the past how they are really trying to move towards some larger scale projects, and it seems like this could be the first of those. This could very well be the one thing everyone was hoping for from Creation Club, that being kind of larger scale quest mods that are maybe even worth the money. Time will tell. As always, again, I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you found this video informative, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.